Officer down, 222 South Florissant.
Now, there is one sheriff in this country who says the shooting of police in Ferguson is part of this disturbing trend. Here is Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke.
War has been declared on the American police officer. Some people thought I was engaging in hyperbole, but as we can see, this assault on the American officer continues. This isn't the first time. It happened in L.A., it happened in San Francisco. Excuse me, cops on routine patrol taking sniper fire. It's unfathomable that we've gotten to this point in the United States.
We talked to Sheriff Clarke recently on the show. You heard him there last night saying war has been declared, and he's not the only one saying that. I talked to a patrol officer, a young man, a phenomenal officer by the name of Anwar Saunders out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. This was his message to me this time yesterday.
There's absolutely been an increase of violence. There's been vandalism on police vehicles. There's been just a constant threat. You know, we get the people who will come up to us and say, hands up, don't shoot, you know, trying to test you and try to get a reaction out of you.
Let's broaden this out. Let me bring in Nick Valencia, who's in Atlanta. And I know you attended this national convention of police executives there in Atlanta. What was the message? What were they saying to you?
I did, and this morning, Brooke, it was New York Police Commissioner Bill Bratton who was the headliner at this event for the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. And Commissioner Bratton spoke about a handful of issues to the point there of that young man. It was law enforcement morale. It was also community policing, as well as the recent events in Ferguson. And I had a chance to speak with Commissioner one-on-one. Here's what he told me. There's such a lack of trust in the community now with that department. What do you do?
Well, that issue, lack of trust, is the heart of the problem, if you will. How do we regain it where it's quite obvious it belongs? In the case of Ferguson, I'm dealing with similar issues in New York City and some of my neighborhoods coming out of our events. And there's so many ways that you can do that. First off, you need to be willing to embrace that there is a need to change. There's an opportunity to change. And the events in Ferguson this week that we really still don't know yet, as we're talking, who did it, for what purpose, we can only speculate. Better to wait till we have the facts. But clearly in the country at this time, there is a lack of trust between many minority communities and the police, and a lack of confidence on the part of the police that they have the backing of some of their leadership of the community, and we need to deal with that issue also. We have two issues, the police and the public, and try to find ways to bridge those gaps.
Commissioner Bratton went on to say that there needs to be a mentality shift among some law enforcement officers, from a change from the warrior mentality to more towards the guardian mentality. He also made another point which I found very interesting, Brooke. He said that cops aren't the only people responsible for de-escalating these situations, a lot of them that we've seen across the country in recent months. He also put some ownership on the citizens, saying that it's our responsibility as well not to put police officers in situations where bad things can happen. Brooke.
Point taken. Nick Valencia, thanks for sharing.
You bet.
Coming up next, we have more